Okay, so next we've got a task 2 essay. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Okay, so we've got a nice argumentative essay. So what's important in this one is to have a clear opinion, support your opinion with ideas and, if possible, specific examples to back up what you're trying to say. Okay, so let's look at the topic. In many countries, children are engaged in some kind of paid work. Some people regard this as completely wrong, what others consider as valuable work experience, important for learning and taking responsibility. What are your opinions on this? Okay, so you don't have to necessarily discuss both sides of the opinion. You're just putting forward your own argument. So you can do reason 1, why I agree or disagree. Reason 2, why I agree or disagree, is a fine way to put it. You don't have to necessarily be fair or balanced. This is argumentative, persuasive. Tell me your opinion and convince me that you're right. Okay, let's look at the introduction. People have different views on children's participation in paid work. Okay, no problem. Some argue that it is detrimental for children, while others maintain that it is valuable for them. Detrimental, good word. Valuable, also good word. I believe that children had better do paid work under some conditions. Okay, so I like that they've given me, that there's some qualifications. They're going into this sort of gray area, which I like. This could have been slightly better grammar choice. So it could be sort of like, I want to phrase it something. I believe that if children do paid work, there should be some strict conditions in order for them to fully benefit. Okay, something like that. So we've got a sort of like an if, should, sort of a conditional sentence here. So that's the kind of thing they're looking for to boost your grammar. So that's going to help you out with that. Okay, overall reasonably solid introduction. Let's look at their body 1. So I think, okay, this is quite a long body 1. So I'm actually going to check their body 2 to see if they're roughly the same size. And to be fair, they are roughly the same size. Sometimes you have an issue where candidates really get invested in their first point and then they only spend a little bit of time on their second point. So one thing that they want to check when they're checking your IELTS essay, if your body 1 and body 2 are roughly the same size to show that you've sort of got a reasonable balance. But then no, this is a very strange conclusion because it's not. This might just be a typo. They might have done this by accident, but this obviously should be joined together into one conclusion. Okay, so let's look at what they said. To begin with, there are those who believe that children should not take part in paid work should not take part in paid work as they are concerned about the side effects. One problem is that children could be exploited by adults who put emphasis on the benefits the most. What benefits? Too vague. In particular, in countries that do not enforce laws that protect children in the workplace, children could be forced to work in dangerous and harsh conditions with low pay. Very good sentence. Dangerous, harsh conditions, low pay, enforce laws, good vocabulary. Okay? Nice, complex sentence, good. Another possible issue is that regular pay work deprives children of studying opportunities. In many cases, studying is an indispensable factor since it allows children who are from underprivileged backgrounds to go up higher social. We call this social mobility, which is when you move from an underprivileged to a more privileged background. Okay, so you are from underprivileged backgrounds to become upwardly socially mobile. However, if they spend too much time on work or doing paid work, they may, we don't want to be too strong, may lose the chance. Thus, it is safe to say that we should not underestimate the negative effects that children's work brings out, or the negative effects on children would also be fine. Okay, this is a good, in terms of task achievement, this is very good. You've given me a clear topic. You've discussed in detail with possible examples about exploitation and issues on studying and things like that. So you've explained, this kind of has really explained the issue well. That's just this one part here, which I don't really understand what they mean by here. But in terms of task achievement, good. coherent, it's logical, it hangs together. We've got some good vocabulary going on, and I can see that they're really trying to use some more complex sentences or some longer sentences, which I appreciate. On the other hand, other people believe that children benefit a lot from engaging in paid work. First of all, children can learn the value of money by experiencing labor in person. Okay, they could realize the fact that money does not grow on trees. I can't tell you how many times my parents have said that to me. That's a good phrase. And this is one of those examples of less common vocabulary, which is very good. And finally, try to save money to buy what they want. Moreover, the experience would be advantageous for children when they enter society as an adult because they understand the value of labor and money. Okay. Secondly, paid work raises the responsibility and independence of children due to the fact that they can discover their roles in the process of work. So discover their roles. Discover their abilities or discover their passions, stuff they really enjoy doing. Discover their interests. Discover their future careers, maybe they mean. It's going to be more specific than, I don't know what they mean by roles here. So again, in terms of task achievement, good. They cover the other side. The only thing I don't really know is I don't really know the opinion of the author. That's what's missing here. We discuss both sides of the argument, but this is supposed to be to what extent do you agree. So it's supposed to be an argumentative, challenging style, but the author hasn't told me what they think or what their opinion is, which is my issue here. Their vocabulary is very good. Again, grammar, not too bad. A couple of mistakes. The thing is that they're being too strong sometimes in their sentences. They're saying they will do this or they would do that, but normally in a sort of, you're going for the more formal academic style, you want to be cautious. They may realize, they might realize, they could, they can, they may be able to. Okay, we don't know for sure if a kid's going to work, if it's going to help them or not, so you want to be cautious in your language. Look at the conclusion. To conclude, there is no doubt that paid work exerts a positive effect on the future of children. Nonetheless, you've got a fancy semicolon here. Fancy, I see you. They've tried for their punctuation. Nonetheless, good word. It sometimes brings out some unpredicted side effects to them. What kind of side effects? Unpredicted, harmful side effects to them. Therefore, I am strongly confident that children had better do paid work, considering the benefit of work, but it should be limited by laws and government, and the government limited laws needs to protect children's rights and future. So they've literally left their opinion to the very last sentence of their essay, which is not the point of a to what extent do you agree essay. This should be in your introduction and in your 2 paragraphs as well. But it's a good summary of what they believe, of the main points of the essay. So as a summary, it's good. I do think it's a good summary. I think it obviously needs to be put together into 1 paragraph. I'm going to assume that's just a typo because they put it on a computer. But yeah, overall, I thought good. So in terms of task achievement, I thought this was a very strong essay in the fact that they sort of, in addressing each side of the debate and discussing their points in a logical, clear, detailed way that was easy for me to follow, easy for me to understand their logic. So that was great. The issue was their opinion. They left their opinion to the end. So that's going to sort of bring them down. So I would want to give them sort of like probably a 6 for that. If they'd been more strong with their opinion, I would have wanted to give a 6.5 or a 7. Coherence and cohesion, I thought was very good. The transitions between sentences and ideas was handled very well, so I would want to give a 6.5 for that. The vocabulary I thought was really quite good. There was, a lot of sort of specific things. I like the words for exploited here, enforced laws again, harsh conditions, low pay, deprives children, deprives is a good word, indispensable factor, it's good, underprivileged, again, good. So we've got all these examples of good vocabulary going on here. So I would want to give a 7. We had the less common thing about money does not go on trees, less common phrase, which is good. Grammar, yes, there were some small consistent issues going through with the grammar. It was generally, I understood everything that the candidate wanted to say apart from that 1 sentence. I would have liked to have seen a couple more like you know, tenses or things like that. So for grammar, I definitely want to give a 6.5 because there were those small consistent mistakes going through. So I think overall brings this candidate out at a 6.5, which I think is fair for them. One thing I would really tell them to do for their task achievement is give me your opinion, especially in a to what extent question. Okay, they want you to give an argue. They want you to give their opinion. Okay, and then just check out on those grammar mistakes that I picked you up on before.